always do about any contracts, any transfer talk. Now, Sam Wallace wrote a piece yesterday, and you've probably seen a lot of people have jumped on this because to almost quote the piece, the received wisdom, as he phrased it, is still that Trent will probably go, but the expectation that Van Dijk and Salah will renew. Is that still for you more just what's being heard rather than anything concrete in that piece?
Yeah, I think the way Sam's written that is he's clearly couching it, isn't he? I'm not trying to play it down. I mean, he would say this himself. The way he's written it is not, this is my information and therefore this is going to happen. It's more kind of, that's the word on the grapevine at the moment. That I think that's what everybody on social media is kind of saying at the moment, isn't it? But again, we're just in that same place. I haven't really heard anything concrete. You know, with Van Dijk and Salah, they seem relaxed about their situations. Yeah. And with Trent, the big question is, does he decide to take on that new challenge or does he want to stay at Liverpool? That's the thing that's kind of up in the air. We'll have to see. But I haven't heard anything kind of concrete around any of those players at the moment. So I wouldn't read too much into that piece at all.
It is an interesting one because the last time we had a real chat about this, and I know you've always steadfastly said, never get sort of overly concerned about contracts. It is what it is a little bit. I know we almost expect probably a little bit of something. I mean, we are literally on the precipice of March. There's only a few months left. Is there a bit of you thinking, is there a day, or because of where we are in the season, do you think it's almost that everyone's parked it a little bit just to focus on the trophy haul?
Yeah, you kind of wonder whether there's a little bit of that going on, but obviously, again, you know, I don't think any of the players or the football staff will want this to roll on for too much longer because you want that certainty going into the summer, exactly what Liverpool will need and everything around that. So I'm sure there's going to be, you know, they'll want to get it resolved as soon as possible. But look, I can't take anything else, but you know, like I said, Virgil van Dijk, every time he talks to us, he's like, look, I'm relaxed about it, so nobody else needs to kind of worry. So if that's the case, and this is a guy who's involved and it's his livelihood and his involvement with the club is up for debate around this, then we probably shouldn't get too concerned about it ourselves if he's feeling like that, which again, that just says to me that surely he's going to end up staying in the end, and that's how this is going to play out. I just, you know, particularly with him and again with Salah, sure, he's desperate to stay. So, you know, that is there as one of the ingredients in sort of needing to get that contract over the line. Liverpool are looking there at replacing the best player in the world for next season. They won't want to do that because they know how hard it is to recruit in general. So can't see that happening. And then with Trent, like I say, the reason he is the kind of a different situation is because he might just want to go to Real Madrid and experience living in Spain and do all that. That's the kind of question mark over him, and we just don't know either way with that. But the other two, I still retain a confidence there will be that they'll sign up. And with Trent, it's just a wait and see in terms of what his actual, you know, his desire is in terms of what he wants next for his career.
Yeah, everyone's just praying, aren't they, for the best player in the world and the best defender in the world to still be at the club next season. So fingers crossed we get developments in that. And I know you will have seen Arne Slot's embargo comments sort of late Friday as well. He said, obviously, that in the summer it was all just about assessing what we have. And he kind of lit the touch paper on rumours because he said, didn't we, now we've assessed, me, Richard, we've looked at it. So naturally, rumours are going to abound. So just to sort of put a few names to you. Carlos Baleba, the Brighton midfielder, quite a few stories linking him with a move to Liverpool. And when you watch him to the eye test, it does feel like there's a few ingredients that, well, you know about our number 6 chase and how long that's gone on seems to be forever over many a summer. Think there's anything to this one at all for Baleba?
Yeah, I think Liverpool like him because I think they liked him when he was at, was it at Lille he was beforehand? Yeah. I think they liked him when he was there, and it's just a case that Brighton were more willing to kind of take the risk at that point of bringing him over and giving him games and seeing how it goes for him. Liverpool obviously want something that's a little bit closer to the finished product, really, when they sign a player. So, you know, I know he's been someone who's been on the radar. Again, you know, the big problem there is kind of how much are Brighton going to ask for? Yeah. It's possibly insane money. So, you know, he's going to have quite a bit of contract left. So, but he's a very capable player, and Liverpool are hardly short of money, are they? They haven't spent much recently, and I think they're going to generate an awful lot through sales this summer. So, You know, I wouldn't rule this one out at all, but I haven't heard anything kind of concrete around that. And it'd be interesting what they do around midfield as well, actually, because, you know, are they looking for a kind of nailed-on starter to come in? Who does that push out? You know, do we see more rotation from the manager if someone like this signs? That those are the kind of questions in terms of what they're looking at. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Liverpool are keeping an eye on him. But that would be a really hard deal to get done. I would say that.
Yeah, it would be a fortune if it was to happen. And the other couple of names, because whatever anyone thinks of him, Fabrizio Romano does draw a lot of eyes. Mentioned that Liverpool are very serious about a centre back coming in, and I know we've talked about the expectation Joe Gomez does depart this summer as well, as I say, part of raising those funds. This name, first of all, Castello Lukeba. So French, can play left back and centre back, linked with us a lot during last summer as well. Heard anything on this one at all? Because it is mentioned even today.
Yeah, again, he's kind of one of those, isn't he? He's the Red Bull player. I've kind of had suggestions in recent years that maybe like last summer that there was kind of some interest there, and they were keeping an eye on him. Maybe that was one to kind of, they were waiting to see what happened with Joe Gomez, and if he did go, then they would jump in there. So yeah, not one would want to kind of feel comfortable shooting down at all. But obviously people who watch him more frequently will know much better than me in terms of whether he's good enough for Liverpool or not. But yeah, I had some encouragement last summer that it was maybe someone they were looking at, but whether that comes to anything or not, we don't really know at the moment.
And I suppose just in other terms of names, we kind of mentioned him last week, but Dean Huijsen mentioned again a number of times, having a great season. Even today, about an hour ago, Paul Joyce even mentions Jarell Hato. Do you think those are two names that are definitely worth keeping an eye on?
Yeah, we know they've been monitoring that kind of young centre-half pool for quite a while now, on the basis that they've just been expecting movement there. And I think it is finally going to happen this summer. I really do expect that Joe Gomez will leave and go and get more football elsewhere, and you know, we'll leave with everyone's blessing. But yeah, there's going to need to be movement there for Liverpool. So they're keeping an eye on what's out there. But there's so much up in the air about it. I mean, we spoke last week about Huijsen and kind of, you know, what can you guarantee him in terms of minutes? Is he happy with that? Does he feel like he might be better at staying at Bournemouth till he gets his big move and, you know, comes in? A lot of things that are kind of up in the air around that. Maybe Hato would be quite good because obviously he's still very young and would probably be more willing to accept a bench role for a lot of time. So, and obviously to come in, learn from someone like Van Dijk would really kind of be a selling point for you there. But there's an awful lot up in the air there, and it's worth mentioning there's so many players that Liverpool do like that it is kind of, you know, it's difficult to pick out which ones are actually going to move forward with and try and sign, particularly at this early stage.